Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Always exciting.
Yeah, so today we're going to be focusing on Indonesian singer Vidi Aldiano,
Oh, yeah.
specifically his health journey.
Okay.
And, a lot of you out there probably already know that he's been battling cancer,
Uh-huh.
but there's some recent news that has us all wondering, how he's doing.
Right.
He posted a photo of himself getting IV treatment,
Oh, wow.
and it sparked a lot of discussion online.
Yeah, I can see why.
It's definitely.
What's interesting is that he chose to share this pretty personal moment on social media.
Yeah.
And in the caption,
Yeah.
he talks about staying strong through challenges,
Right.
which, instantly connects this IV photo to his ongoing cancer battle.
For sure. It really makes you think about what he's going through right now.
Yeah,
And the challenges he might be facing.
definitely.
But before we jump into all of that, can you give us a little background on Vidi Aldiano for those who might not be familiar with him?
Absolutely. Vidi Aldiano is a hugely popular Indonesian singer,
Oh, yeah.
known for his soulful voice and, those catchy pop songs.
I've heard a few.
Yeah, he's been a major figure in the Indonesian music scene for a while now.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, he's been open about his cancer journey with his fans.
That's right, he has. And this IV photo is just the latest glimpse into that journey.
It is.
This online news article, published on November 13, 2024, even quotes the caption he wrote.
Uh-huh.
It says, dalam unggahan tersebut ia juga menambahkan caption penyemangat diri untuk dapat menjalani cobaan yang dihadapi.
Okay.
Which translates to, in the upload, he also added a self-motivating caption to be able to go through the trials he is facing.
Wow, that quote really stands out, doesn't it?
Yeah, I did.
Even without, specific details about his current health.
Right.
It speaks volumes about his strength and resilience.
Definitely.
But it also brings up a fascinating question.
What's that?
How much do public figures choose to share about their health?
Right.
And what kind of impact does that have? Yeah.
Both on themselves and their fans.
That's such a great point because on the one hand, being open and honest about struggles can be so powerful and inspiring for others who are going through similar things.
Exactly. It can make people feel less alone and more connected.
Yeah.
Like someone they admire understands what they're going through.
Right. But then there's the other side of it.
Yeah.
Putting such a personal journey in the public eye can be incredibly challenging.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you find that balance between maintaining some privacy and connecting with your fans?
It's like walking a tightrope.
Yeah.
Especially with a condition like cancer.
Yeah.
There can be so much uncertainty.
Absolutely.
One day, you might feel up to sharing a positive update.
Yeah.
And the next day, you're back in treatment feeling vulnerable.
That's a good point. It makes you wonder how Vidi Aldiano navigates that.
Right.
He's chosen to be fairly open about his cancer journey,
Yeah.
sharing glimpses into the highs and lows,
Uh-huh.
even without revealing every detail. And that openness can spark important conversations
Absolutely.
about healthcare access to treatment
Right.
and the support systems available to people facing chronic illnesses,
Yeah.
not just in Indonesia,
Right.
but globally.
Speaking of Indonesia,
Okay.
you know that quote from Vidi's post about trials?
Yes.
Is there a particular cultural significance to that word in Indonesia?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
The word kobanan, which translates to trials,
Okay.
often carries a deeper meaning in Indonesian culture.
Uh-huh.
It can refer to tests of faith, resilience, and even destiny.
Wow.
So when Vidi uses this word, it resonates on a different level with his Indonesian fans.
It adds a whole other layer to his message, doesn't it?
For sure.
It becomes about more than just dealing with a physical illness.
Right.
It becomes about overcoming challenges on a spiritual and emotional level, too.
Absolutely. And that resonates with the cultural context of Indonesia,
Yeah.
where faith and resilience play a significant role in how people cope with adversity.
So while we don't have all the specifics about Vidi's current health status, this photo and his words offer a glimpse into his journey and spark some really important questions.
Yes, like how this level of openness might impact existing stigmas surrounding cancer in Indonesian society.
Yeah.
Or how social media has changed the landscape of sharing health narratives.
Right.
Has it improved things,
Right.
or has it made them more complex?
Those are some great points. And it makes you realize that even a simple photo and a few lines of text can open up a much broader conversation about health resilience and the role of social media.
It really does. And I think that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating.
I completely agree. Shall we keep going?
Let's do it.
I'm really interested to explore what this all means for Vidi Aldiano, his fans, and even the broader conversation about health and social media.
Yeah, let's dive in. You mentioned earlier the tightrope walk public figures face.
Yeah.
When sharing their health journeys, it makes you think about other celebrities and how they've handled, similar situations.
You're so right. Think about someone like Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, yeah.
He chose to keep his battle with cancer private.
He did.
And his passing shocked the world.
Exactly. And that really highlights the complexity of this issue.
For sure.
There's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
It's a deeply personal choice.
Absolutely. But I wonder if someone like Vidi Aldiano, by choosing to be more open, is actually helping to break down the stigma surrounding cancer.
That's an interesting point. Traditionally, there's been a lot of silence around cancer.
Yeah.
In many cultures, including Indonesia,
right.
People might feel ashamed or afraid to talk about it.
Which can make it even harder to cope, right?
Absolutely.
If you feel like you have to go through it all alone.
Exactly. But when someone like Vidi, who's so well respected and admired, speaks openly about his experiences, it can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
It normalizes the conversation.
For sure.
And encourages others to do the same.
It's like he's saying, hey, this is something I'm going through, and it's okay to talk about it.
Exactly.
And that can be incredibly empowering, not just for people with cancer, but for anyone facing health challenges.
I completely agree. It shifts the narrative from one of shame and secrecy to one of strength and resilience.
For sure.
And that can be incredibly powerful in challenging societal norms.
Definitely think about the impact on his fans.
Oh, absolutely.
Seeing someone they look up to facing a difficult situation with courage and grace can be incredibly inspiring.
This reminds me of something I read recently about the parasocial relationships that can develop between fans and celebrities, especially through social media.
Parasocial relationships. Can you explain that a bit?
Sure. A parasocial relationship is a one-sided bond that a fan develops with a media figure. They might feel like they really know this person, even though the relationship isn't reciprocal.
That makes sense. You see it all the time.
Right.
With people who are super fans of a particular musician or actor.
Exactly. And social media has amplified this phenomenon.
Right.
Celebrities can share more of their lives. And fans feel even more connected to them.
Right.
So when someone like Vidi is open about his health journey, it can feel incredibly personal to his fans.
Right.
Almost like they're going through it with him.
It's like he's invited them into a very intimate part of his life.
Precisely. And that can have both positive and negative effects. On the positive side, it can create a sense of community and support. Fans might rally around him, offer encouragement, and share their own experiences. But it's important to remember that this is still a one-sided relationship.
I see what you mean. Vidi is sharing his story on his terms.
Right.
But there's always a risk of fans overstepping boundaries. Or projecting their own expectations onto him.
Yes, and that can be a burden for someone already dealing with this serious illness.
Oh, for sure.
Imagine the pressure of feeling like you have to be strong and positive all the time for your fans, even when you're struggling.
That must be incredibly tough. And it highlights the responsibility that comes with sharing such personal information publicly. It's not just about Vidi anymore. It's about how his experiences impact those who follow him.
It definitely raises questions about how we as a society consume and engage with these kinds of health narratives. Especially in the age of social media.
We're so quick to hit that like button or leave a comment. But are we really thinking about the person on the other side of the screen?
That's a really important point. We need to be mindful of the potential impact our engagement has.
For sure.
Both positive and negative.
This has been such an insightful discussion. It's amazing how we started with one photo of Vidi Aldiano receiving 4V treatment.
I know, right?
And ended up exploring the complexities of social media, parasocial relationships, and the responsibility we have as consumers of information.
Yeah, it really is fascinating and makes you think about your own relationship with social media. Like, how do you usually engage with health-related content online?
Yeah, that's a good question. Do you find yourself getting caught up in the story?
Yeah.
Or do you take a step back and consider the bigger picture?
It's so easy to get caught up in the emotion of a story. Especially when it involves someone you admire.
Right, but I think it's crucial to remember that there's a real person behind those posts.
Yeah.
Someone navigating a complex and often challenging journey.
That's a really good point. It's like we see a photo of Vidi getting 5E treatment, And our first reaction might be concern or curiosity. But it's important to also consider the weight of what he's sharing.
Right.
And the impact it might have on him.
Absolutely. And that leads to a bigger question.
Okay.
How do we as individuals and as a society support those going through health challenges?
Right. Whether they're in the public eye or not.
That's a great question, and it's something we probably don't think about enough.
Yeah.
It's easy to offer words of encouragement online.
It is.
But what about the practical, everyday support that people need?
Exactly. Are we creating a culture of compassion and understanding around these issues?
Right.
Are we providing resources and support systems for those who need them?
Yeah.
These are questions that extend far beyond Vidi Aldiano's story.
For sure.
But are at the heart of how we approach health and well-being in our communities.
This deep dive has really opened my eyes to the complexities of this topic.
Yeah.
We started with a single photo and a few lines of text, and we've ended up exploring everything from parasocial relationships to the responsibility we have as consumers of information.
It's amazing how one small piece of news can unravel so many interconnected threads.
It is.
And it highlights the importance of critical thinking and thoughtful engagement.
Absolutely.
Especially in the digital age.
Couldn't agree more. So we may not have all the answers about Vidi Aldiano's health journey.
Right.
But this conversation has certainly given us a lot to think about.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that behind every headline, every social media post, there's a human story unfolding. And it's up to us to approach those stories with empathy, understanding, and a critical eye.
Well said. And for you listening, we hope this has sparked some thought-provoking questions for you to consider as well.
Yeah.
How do you engage with health-related content online?
Right.
Are you contributing to empathy or just adding to the noise?
Great question.
We encourage you to reflect on your own role in shaping these narratives.
Yes.
And to think about how you can be a source of support and understanding for those around you.
Thanks for diving deep with us today. This has been an incredibly insightful conversation, and we appreciate you joining us.